So for the arrangement, I usually like to put a reference track into my session. And this time I've used another reference track for arranging this track. But to show you the process, I've put my track Nela, which I've made with Clever together, and we can compare this arrangement to our arrangement. So the Nela track was written at 105 BPM, so we have to fix that. Usually I would have just a loop like this one. And check the BPM which I've used to produce this song, and go to any website like Beatport and check out some tracks I like and that are comparable to mine, which aren't very much different in the BPM. Maybe 110 would be the maximum and 100 the minimum. And then I would go through the track and copy some ideas of the arrangement. For example, here's the intro of the track Nela. Okay, then there's a short break for the kick. And so here comes the new shaker in it. Here comes the clap, here the bass line, and here's the break into the drop. So I would make some notes for myself so that I know how to arrange the track. So also this track is very long, it's maybe 7 minutes long. So I think it's too long for my loop. I would just make a cut right here and shorten this track. So I've got a much more fitting arrangement, I think. It's a little bit more than 6 minutes, and I wouldn't like to make this 7 minutes long. So then what I would do is grabbing the kick drum and arrange it in the same way. I would do this for all elements, but of course you have to keep in mind that the elements of the reference track aren't fitting to your elements. So you have to compare them. Maybe the shaker, it's clear that I've got this shaker loop, but if you have a bass line like this one, at this time it's working the same. It's just a bass note that is playing, but at the break, the bass line is also working like a melodic element. But my bass line isn't melodic at any way, it's just a supportive element for the drop. So it wouldn't make much sense to have the bass line played in the break. Instead of that, I would take maybe the FX pad. And we also have to keep in mind to fix our automation. And so we can go on. What we also can hear, there's the hang loop played. In this track, in this loop, we've got also a hanging loop. So I just take it. And maybe I would just grab my loop, which I already have, put it here. Okay, you can hear it's very rough. Of course, you can make some adjustments. Maybe it's too much elements that are coming in. I would turn off some. You can already hear it's working quite well. It's just sounding a little bit rough because we have to make this fine adjustments, but I won't show it in this tutorial because it would take too long. Another thing in this track is an uprising hi-hat, which is coming in right here. But this hi-hat, we don't have it in our track right now. So we have to compare. This hi-hat works also like a shaker loop. So all we can do is using this shaker and fade it in. Maybe we can also fade in the shaker, but play right here the off shaker. So we can get really creative with this method. And also there's of course missing some stuff in this break. And to make this break more interesting, we could use the Woodwind, which we maybe already have. For example, what we could do here is going up with a return to fade out this hang loop and having a better drop then. And also, if you already have a loop and don't have some melodic elements like a woodwind, you will notice that referencing your track or your idea to another track, you will notice, okay, your track needs some more adjustments, like putting in more melodic elements. And by this method, you will get better in arranging stuff. And maybe once you're good enough, you won't need this technique anymore and just can do your arrangements